Hey everyone, it's Daniel Gurfinkel. I'm here with Nadir Hadeshi of Vienna Dental Design. We've been working with Nadir for the past few months. We've been able to secure over $360,000 in low-cost capital. Nadir, could you please introduce yourself? Tell us about your business and why you reached out to us originally.
Yeah, so my name is Nader, as you said, and I wanted to establish a dental lab. I didn't have the capital to do it. So I reached out to you. I saw your ad. I reached out to you, and you were kind enough to help me. It's been a good collaboration. You guys have been always on top of it and always helped where you could. Um, I particularly like that we would go and attempt to get the lines of credit, and anywhere where it was getting a little too much, you guys go help with the credit and wipe out the request. It's a bumpy ride sometimes, but the end result is really good. So you guys have been nice, and anytime I needed any help, any advice, I would call or message, and immediately people would get back, and everybody makes you feel like, and you've also been a very motivating factor. You've been pushing me, letting me know that it's doable, and it is, and it's here now, and it's building, and it's getting crazy. I work really hard, but that's what I asked for. So
Yeah. When we started, your background was very different. You didn't have, that office. You didn't have all that equipment. When
no,
we
no, I
started,
was basement in the at home. I had like a skeleton lab, and I needed to like ramp it up because you got to get serious. You got to have an office. You got to have the right equipment. Outsource as little as you can, and I'm still a one-man show, but it's gonna change soon. After this summer, I have to start hiring and doing things.
100%. And do you know the rough amount of funding that we were able to get? I have a calculation here. I think we got 218,800 at 0%, another 95,000 in single digit term loans, and a $50,000 line of credit. I think it was under 10%, roughly. Does
Mhm.
that sound about right? Yeah. So $363,800 in total funding. We're still working on more, obviously. Were you expecting to get this much, when you started the process?
Well, you said I would, and I was like, whatever. If we can get 100, 150, that's fine. But it got a lot more. Obviously, I haven't tapped into all of it. But yeah, it's good to have that backup to know that
Yeah,
if it's needed, like I need a couple of equipment, and I kind of know, okay, even if I'm not ready, I can just tap into my resources and get going.
make it
So it's
happen,
been great.
100%.
Yeah, yeah.
If you didn't find us, how do you think you would have, funded this business? Like, where do you think you would be?
Well, I mean, I'll be honest, I did go to the bank before you,
Yeah,
and the bank was like, well, we need revenue. And I was like, well, I don't have revenue yet. Once I have revenue, that's all. So
catch
it would have been
22.
difficult. It would have been, I would have had to go all personal, and it would have hurt
Mm,
my credit hard.
100%,
We
100%.
managed to do all this and keep my credit above 800 still. It was strange. Yeah, it
Strange,
worked out
yeah,
well.
no, I
Yeah,
mean it worked, right?
yeah,
I
yeah.
know in the beginning, we reviewed your profile. Obviously, I gave you pretty high estimates. Like in the beginning, right? You met us through an ad, right? What made you comfortable, right, to risk your credit, your business, like the future, working with us for this capital? Like, what was that factor that led you to take that jump?
I don't know. I mean, the ad itself completely wasn't what sold me. It was like I was in a bad place, so I made the contact, and from the contact, your demeanor was very professional and personal at the same time. So that made me put my trust in you. And I gave you all my information. So it was a good decision. I'm happy with my decision. Yeah,
100%.
yeah,
Excellent. And, you know, and the other thing is, we ask for money up front, right? A lot of people, they're hesitant, right? Like, one, you got to give us all your info. Two, you also have to pay us, right, to get started
yeah.
to working with us. Was there anything that, like, made you feel like it was worth that investment? Like anything that you could point a finger to and be like, okay, yeah, this made sense before getting started?
Well, what it was really was, I lead my life by, um, you know, ex- taking risks, and it was a kind of a risk. And you said, I'll be with you for a couple more years, and I'll support you and do this and that. And I was thinking, if I don't risk, I don't gain. So let's, let's take a chance on this guy. And you were after you got paid, you still were attentive, and you chasing me, how is that going? How's this going? It was the opposite, of what
Right.
should have been. I didn't have time to call you, and you were like chasing me. So I it's good. It's a good experience, and I learned to trust you. I understand that. Yeah,
Do you
and
feel
I
like you
understand the
learn?
people who hesitate.
Yeah,
It does take more trust and more, just taking a chance. But that's
yeah.
business.
That's business.
That's business
Yeah.
too. And you
If
do it
someone's
with
watching
marriage,
this,
you do it with everything. You take a risk. That
yeah,
everything is a risk. But
exactly,
it
exactly.
wasn't a risk. It was very workable, very a good experience.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And do you also feel like you learned about like the banking process and credit, like the systems? You have a better understanding now of how things work a little bit?
Yeah, I understand. I understand. And it's a hard game.
Hmm. Did
And
you know, did you know all the things like that you didn't know? Like, were you like surprised, like how deep it goes? Like, it's like it's almost like a medical profession almost, you
Yeah,
know?
the thing that shocked me the most was like, how you have to play a game with these guys. Most of the times you go in and you like give them more information than they need. And
Right.
that's, you don't need to do that,
Exactly. Not
you
too
know.
much, not too little,
Yeah,
just the Goldilocks
yeah,
porridge, just
yeah.
perfect. And we can get fantastic results. I mean, you have
And
good
it's the same
credit.
in business. I
Yeah,
can't call people and say, "Hey, it could go wrong or something, this and that. But everything's going to be great. So when you talk to the bankers, it's got to be the same. I'm the best. We're doing great.
exactly.
Yeah,
Right, right. No, that's the whole thing. It's, the bank is a system, right? Like the system has to operate a particular way. A lot of people, a lot of business owners, they think, oh, I'm a logical business owner. I can just go in, say
yeah,
this, and they'll give it to me. But,
yeah.
as you've seen it, it isn't always that simple. I mean, we'll go through the approvals. I think it'll be kind of interesting. I'll break it down and, we'll kind of go through. We got Chase, we got almost 88,000, Citizens 50,000, Amex 42,500, Bank of America almost 28,000, US Bank 11,000. All of this is at 0%. We got a couple term loans that were one was under 7%, I think it was 6.8, and we had another one, I think it was like 7 in some change, and then another line of credit that was under 10% as well for 50. So good amount of liquid. A lot of that 0% we're going to be able to get again. So do you feel like, for the next year, right, when these cards will expire, do you feel like you'll be prepared to go get more and, keep
I mean, you have
expanding,
to,
keep playing the
otherwise
game?
you'll fall into the interest rate
Exactly.
trap that I mean, they do this for a reason. But I guess
No.
to circumvent that, you need somebody like you to come guide you because businessmen, women, we're too busy to think of all this stuff, and you guys stay on top of it. You're always keeping track, and you tell me where I can have to pay off how much so I can go and get another one for another
Right.
12 months or whatever, so that we avoid paying interest.
100%. 100%. Was there anything about the process that like surprised you, that you weren't expecting?
Well, with my credit score, it was really high, and I was surprised at the couple of people who didn't uh, accept me. But yeah, and that was a surprise.
Right.
But at the end of the
We didn't get
day,
approved everywhere. There was one bank,
yeah,
I think
yeah.
Wells Fargo. They weren't,
Yeah,
they
there's
didn't
a
like
couple of
us.
people have to know. I mean, I got a Wells Fargo, by the way, as well.
Uh,
But there's a couple of ones that, you surprise you how little, but there's a couple that surprise you how much they give you.
right. Right.
And having a good score helps, but there's a lot of things they're looking for that you guys know better. Not everybody knows the game. The game is a game. Yeah.
100%. And now, as you're kind of moving on, what would you say to, other people in, dental lab, dentist, medical field? What would you say about the service like this? If they're trying to grow their business and they're looking for capital, what would you say to them?
I would say uh, take on the service and get yourself in the best position you can. Your business is number one. That's where your money comes in. And if you can place your business where you need it with the capital you need, then you're not going to be able to you know um, um, gain your goals. So
Yeah,
you need to place yourself, and for that you need capital, and for that you need people who know how to get that. And the money it costs, they need to understand that well, that's the price you pay. It's a little price, like compared to the hundreds of thousands that you could get, and for the hundreds of thousands you could make from becoming a productive business, it's a smaller price to pay than you initially think it is.
100%. No, I like the way you
Yeah.
look at it. It's like
Mm.
it's a liability not to have capital in your business. Like, let's say, we were talking, you're just very busy right now in the lab, a lot of orders coming in. Let's say you didn't have as much capital, right? Like you didn't have, let's say you had 100, let's say you tried to do it yourself. You got a good result, 100,000, maybe 150. Would you be as far as when you had 300 to start the lab now? Would you be able to take on all the work, do everything that you need?
Well, that's the thing. I need more machines, or have some capital for outsourcing, or material I need to buy. Um, you know, uh, I don't think about that much. Like if I had the stress of knowing, okay, like a bridge I made broke and I have to remake it, or I don't have the money to reorder material, or burrs or whatever I need for the machine, then it's added stress you don't need. If you're gonna have,
100%.
like I told you, I haven't tapped into everything, but good to know that I can just like put something on a card that has zero
Yeah.
interest
You
for
feel
now.
like the debt service is, you know, suitable, right? Like you don't have massive payments on the debt. You said, you're using a
No,
lot, but
no,
it's
you
not
got
a,
minimum payments if you want
no,
to. And like even last night, I just paid some extra, a little bit more than, like a couple of thousand here or there, just to, you know, but I didn't have to, you know,
right, right.
didn't
But you
have to.
felt comfortable enough because you have the cash to
Yeah,
do
I have a
so.
little flow, and so yeah.
Fantastic. Excellent. Well, Nadir, it was a pleasure. Is there anything else you'd like to add for, anyone watching this? Maybe they have a dental lab they're trying to expand or, anyone in the field. What would you say to, someone as a closing?
Well, to the dental labs, I would say don't talk to my clients, and to the dental offices, send the work here. No,
Yeah,
um,
yeah. So maybe
send.
dentists, only
Yeah, we
dentists,
always
no
do
other
that,
competing
but
dental labs.
right now
Do
I'm
you
kind
feel
of
like this
busy.
is an advantage? You feel like it's an unfair advantage to have this type of capital, in the, dental lab arena?
Yeah, it's a great advantage. The your state of mind is important when you're working, and if in the back of your head you're always worried about cash flow, it hampers, it stops you, it distracts you, and it's not good for you know making decisions, and you need that uh, you know
With
state
the
of mind.
capital comes clarity.
Yeah, yeah, capital doesn't make you happy, but it actually does.
That's a tagline right there. Nadir, it's a pleasure. I'm looking forward to
I
continuing working with you and helping the business grow. I'll see you soon. All
appreciate
right.
you. All right, bro.
All right. Thanks.